Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone enjoyed their holiday weekend and enjoyed the beautiful weather that we had. Um, what I'm going to do for this week is I'm going to outline the assignments, and then I'm actually going to show you how to use and create the charts that you will need to use to make the assignments this particular week. So the first part of the assignments is kind of getting your feet wet with charts and kind of doing the notes portion, so you kind of have an idea of what the notes are, what charts in particular are, and how to do it. So the way in which we have done that is Mrs. Callahan and I have created a step-by-step chart notes Google Slides. So through this Google Slides, it kind of gives you a very brief outline of what charts are, where you can find them in Google Sheets, and then how to insert a chart, step-by-step notes, how you can insert a particular chart. Now, what I would like you to do is to take these notes and then fill in this Google Docs sheet. These Google Docs, this Google Docs sheet follows along step by step the notes that we have created for you. Okay, so all you have to do is number one is what is a graph and what are the benefits? Come over to the Google Doc and you will see what are the graphs and the benefits. The answer is listed right here. You need to either take that answer and put it into the Google Docs, either word for word, or you can put it into your own words. All right, these are your notes, but they need to be completed. You can use the words that Mrs. Callahan and I put in the Google Sheets, or excuse me, the Google Slides, or you can type in your own. But this is part one of your assignment is you need to fill out this Google Docs for your particular notes. Okay, and again, it follows along this Google Slides that you have right here in your assignments. The next part of the assignment is you will need to create some charts yourselves. If you are following the accommodated, you will need to create one chart on the Apple expenses spreadsheet that is attached for you. And the accommodated curriculum, you just need to do MacBook expenses in January, February, March, and April. And then if you are following the regular curriculum, you need to do three. The first one is the same. And then you need to do January versus February. And you need to do the totals per month of January through April. So that's the assignment that you need to do. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through creating a chart, okay? And I'm actually going to walk you through how to do the Apple expenses. So let's pop over to the Apple expenses spreadsheet that is listed for you. And Mrs. Callahan and I have created the spreadsheet for you, so the data and everything is all right there ready to go. So what you need to do is to create a chart. The easiest way to do it is to highlight the information that you want listed in the chart first. Okay, so I'm going to go and show you how to do a MacBook expenses. So what I'm going to do is I want to highlight everything that I want listed in the chart. So if you notice, I highlighted A3, which is the word items, to E4, okay, which is April's expenses. Now, the reason that I highlighted A3 is because I want the word MacBook to appear in my chart. Things have to be balanced. Things have to be equal. So I cannot highlight just January through April and then MacBook all the way over to the April cost. I can't exclude that cell, so I need to make sure it is highlighted. It will not appear in the chart that we create, but you need to make sure you highlight things so that they are even. So this is the chart I'm going to do. So I'm going to highlight A3 to E4. I'm going to click on Insert Chart, which is listed right here in your toolbar, or if you go to your menu bar, you can also go to Chart. It's the same thing. And you get your charts, okay? Now, because we highlighted everything already, right, the beauty of using charts in Google Spreadsheets is that it does a lot of the guesswork for us. Because we highlighted our headers here and our MacBook, it puts in our items, puts in our labels for us, okay? Now, Look over here in your chart setup that appears first. You've got the range of data that you highlighted, the type of chart. If you notice when I click on the down arrow of the type of chart, it gives me a lots of different charts that you can pick, okay? Now, it always gives you a suggested version, but you can pick whichever ones you want, okay? Google always kind of goes and gravitates towards either a column or bar chart, okay, as their suggested ones, but you can pick whatever one you would like, whatever displays your information best appropriate to you, okay? Now, after you have the chart visibly in your preview, you can come over to customization. Now, not all customization items need to happen, okay? Your chart style is pretty much you making it kind of more fun and unique, okay? The border colors, the font type, the background color, okay? Those are all unique items that you don't have to do, okay? Simple in my mind is always better, but if you want to make it kind of more fun and crazy looking, more power to you. What I care about, and what I'm sure Mrs. Callahan would care about as well, is making sure the labels are correct, making sure the chart has a title, making sure the Y and X axis have a title. That's what I care about the most, so I can look at the chart and know what it is. So the chart and axis titles, my chart title, because I highlighted things for me, it is there. I don't want items. All I want to get rid of is MacBook expenses. Okay, and there's my chart title, and you notice it automatically appears. I can change the font type, styles, bold, whole 9 yards if I wish. Now, if I would like to change the word items down here, that's your x-axis, your horizontal. So I would come down to this drop-down box, and then I could change the word items. I don't want items, I want months to appear. And then my y-axis, my vertical axis, I'm good with MacBook right there. You could change it to, money or whatever you would like, but I'm fine with leaving it MacBook right there. Now the series is the data that you've highlighted. Again, you can change the color if you wish. You don't have to, but that's how it is. Series always relates to the data. And the more information you highlight, the more series you will have. All right, your legend. All right, your legend is your key, your rows. It doesn't always appear on every single chart. Most of the time, if you highlight more than one set of information, it will appear, your legend will appear. Okay, so we don't need one on this one. We can obviously see that this is MacBook expenses, all right, and we can see that it's January, February, March, and April. Okay, we're happy with that one. All right, horizontal axis. This allows us to kind of change the labels down here. And same thing with your vertical axis. We can change the way the information is set. I'll change the text color just so you can see. We'll make it green and bold. So you can change that information right there. Okay. And then grid lines. This is one that always seems to kind of trip everybody up. Grid lines are these lines right here that are by my cursor. Those are the grid lines. Again, spreadsheet always has them automatically put in there for you. You can increase the grid lines if you would like. I can put 10 of them right there, and it increases the amount of grid lines. It changes the graph. You notice it looks like the bars got smaller, okay? Or you can just leave it as it is. Sometimes it helps to increase the amount of grid lines that are there to help make the graph easier to read, all right? Other times, it doesn't matter. And also, the minor ones you can see will increase just to give everyone a little idea of, all right, how to do things, how things are a little bit more visible. Grid lines are all about making the chart easier for the individual to read and understand, all right? So that is kind of how you make a chart. The last thing you always want to do is you would like to move this chart to its own tab, its own sheet down here in Google. Now, Whenever you move it, okay, you always want to make sure that the chart is completed. You look at the preview window. I am happy with the way that chart looks. It is good. It is done. To me, it is perfect. So then I can move it. You do not want to move it and then go and make these changes. Moving it to its own tab, its own sheet, is the last step that you want to do. And if you come over here to these three little dots at the corner of your MacBook expenses chart, click on that, and you see where it says down here at the bottom, move to its own sheet. All right, you move to its own sheet, and you'll notice down here at the bottom, I've got two tabs, my spreadsheet and my MacBook expenses. So now it is nice and large and in charge, and you can see your own Google own Google chart that you created in Sheets. Now, if you ever want to delete the chart, you can click on delete. You can also click on copy, and you can paste it into a Google Doc or a Google Slides if you wish, if you're doing something for science or a presentation that you want to have a fancy looking chart for. But I'm just going to delete this because I don't need it. So that is how you do kind of the basic version of charts. I'm going to show you how to do one more, which is a pie chart, if anyone is ever interested in doing that. And I'm going to have two sets of information. Now, I want to do January versus March. Okay, that's the pie chart that I'm going to make. Actually, we'll see if pie chart works out for this. So what I want to do is I'm going to highlight the information that I want. So I'm going to highlight items. Okay, so I'm going to go A3 through A7. Now I want, all right, January versus March. Now I'm going to hold down Control or Command on my keyboard, and I'm going to highlight these separately. Okay, so all I did was I held down Control if you're using a Windows computer or a Chromebook. If you're using a Mac computer, you hold down Command, and you can highlight these different series of information, and then you just come over and click Insert Chart, and there you have the information there for you. Now, if you are having trouble using the Command function, I'm going to delete this chart and show you how to do it another way. So I'm going to highlight Items, Insert Chart, and you will notice that there is no data there, because over here in my data range, I can insert more data. So I would click on Select Data Range, add another row, and then I can individually add the information that I want. Notice there are three separate, and they're all equal. 3 and 7, 3 and 7, 3 and 7. They always have to be equal. Okay. And now I have my three different ranges. And now I come down here and I have to select and change the way information is being displayed. Okay. Now, this makes it a little bit more difficult. It is much easier if you can use, okay, there's January versus March, by switching rows and columns. It is much easier if you can just highlight the information there for you, because it will make the chart for you. If you insert the data range over here, it does make things a little bit more complicated, and you have to adjust the ranges, okay, using the combined ranges, either horizontal or vertical, and switching rows and columns like I had to do, okay? The best advice I can ever give you is play around with it. If the chart does not look the way you want it to look, play around, all right? Change the ranges, change the rows, all right? Use column A as a header. We don't want to use column A as a header, so don't click that particular button, okay? Play around with these things if it doesn't look the way you want it to look. And then from here, we can go through and we can pick the graph that we want. I'm going to make a pie chart, all right, because I said I was going to make a pie chart. Here's January versus February, okay? Notice how it displays something totally different versus a column chart, okay? And from here, you customize it just like we did the first one, All right. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, but that's how you kind of do charts. Um, this might be confusing to a lot of you, so please, again, do not hesitate to reach out. Um, I will have my office hours tomorrow morning if everybody needs help. If you need help specifically, please email me and we can go over this as needed. Hopefully, everyone's doing okay and you're enjoying the sunshine. Hopefully, see everyone soon. Bye.